Welcome to Your English Toolbox, your slow English podcast, where we train your ears step by step. I am Peter. Today we are exploring the deep wisdom found in Daniel Kahneman's book, Thinking Fast and Slow. You might remember that Martin and Julia recently had a deep conversation about the main ideas of this referential book. While they focused on the mindset and the broad concepts, today's episode serves two very specific purposes for your training. First, we are here to practice shadowing with intermediate vocabulary and grammar, allowing these words to settle into your muscles. Second, we want to build a truly deep understanding of these powerful ideas by repeating them slowly and with total focus. This is a special shadowing episode designed to stabilize your practice and build your auditory focus. Before we begin the drills, we must discuss the best strategy for shadowing correctly to ensure you get the maximum benefit. Shadowing is the act of mimicking my voice as if you were my physical shadow, following every movement and sound. You should focus on three specific things: the clarity of the sounds, the rhythm of the sentence, and the emotion in the tone. Do not just repeat the words like a machine. Try to feel the meaning of the psychological concept as you speak it out loud. Our philosophy here is that clarity beats complexity, and emotion is what drives your memory. For this session, I will provide a short explanation of each idea, followed by 20 shadowing sentences. After every sentence, there will be a 4-second pause for you to speak clearly and confidently. Let us start with the core concept: the two systems that manage the human brain. System 1 is fast, instinctive, and emotional. It allows you to survive and make quick choices without thinking. System 2 is slow, logical, and requires a high level of mental effort to function correctly. We often suffer from cognitive overload when we try to use System 2 for too many tasks at the same time. By training your ear with slow, calm English, we are helping your System 2 process the language without any stress. Now let us begin our first set of 20 shadowing sentences. Listen, feel the rhythm, and repeat. My brain has two very different ways of thinking. System 1 is fast, and it always stays awake. It helps me recognize a friendly face in a crowd. System 2 is slow, and it requires my full focus. Thinking deeply is a physical act of energy. I can feel my brain working when I calculate numbers. System 1 loves to jump to easy conclusions. It wants to make the world feel predictable and safe. System 2 is often too lazy to check the facts. I am learning to notice when I am on autopilot. Autopilot is useful, but it can lead to many errors. My intuition is a fast reaction to a familiar pattern. I must pause to let my logical mind speak. Patience is a powerful tool for better mental clarity. I am the master of my own mental focus today. Slowing down helps me understand the deeper truth. My mind is a powerful engine of discovery. I am training my brain to stay very calm today. Every deep breath helps my system to wake up. I am moving forward with a clear purpose and peace. Part 2. The Storyteller and the Halo Effect. In the second part, we look at how System 1 creates stories to make sense of the world. There is a concept called WYSIATI, which means what you see is all there is. Our brain takes a small amount of information and creates a complete story that feels true and coherent. We also experience the halo effect, where we think a person is good because they have one nice quality. These mental shortcuts are meant to make life easier, but they can blind us to the real facts of a situation. In our English journey, we must be careful not to let one small mistake define our entire identity as learners. Use these next 20 sentences to train your mind to look beyond the surface of your first impressions. My brain is a natural storyteller of my life. I often see only a small part of the truth. What I see is not always the whole story. I am careful not to jump to quick conclusions. The halo effect can change my current perception. One good quality does not mean total perfection. I am looking for the facts behind my feelings. My mind wants to create a very simple narrative. Coherence feels much better than the cold truth. I am questioning my own first impressions now. Everyone has layers that I cannot see yet. I will wait for more evidence before I judge. My English mistakes do not define my talent. I am more than the sum of my errors today. Confidence grows when I see the full picture. I am training my eyes to ignore the mental traps. Clarity comes to those who are willing to wait. I am choosing to be a curious observer of life. Every story has a beginning and a clear ending. I am writing a new and positive story now. Part 3. Overconfidence and the planning fallacy. The third part of our journey explores why we are often far too confident in our own predictions. We believe we understand the past perfectly, so we think we can predict exactly what will happen tomorrow. This leads to the planning fallacy, where we underestimate the time and effort needed for a simple task. We ignore the complications and the obstacles that always appear in a real human experience. In learning English, we must be realistic about our journey and avoid the fatigue of high expectations. Let us practice these sentences to build a foundation of mental humility and steady daily progress. I am aware of my own natural overconfidence. Predicting the future is a very difficult challenge. I often think a task will be very fast and easy. The planning fallacy is a common mental trap. I will prepare for obstacles in my daily journey. My plan needs to include time for resting my mind. I am looking at the real data from the past. Real progress takes more time than I usually think. I am comfortable with a slower pace today. Consistency matters much more than high intensity. I am not in a rush to reach the climax. Every small win is a victory for my brain. I will be patient with my own learning process. My expectations are balanced and very realistic. I am avoiding the trap of false certainty today. The future is full of surprising new turns. I am ready for the challenges that will come. Humility is the path to true understanding. I am building a strong foundation for success. My mind is steady and my heart is calm. Part 4. Choices and the fear of loss. Now we explore the psychology of choice and the powerful feeling of loss aversion. We feel the pain of losing something much more intensely than the joy of gaining something new. This fear often stops us from taking the risks necessary for our personal development. We stay with old habits or bad situations because we are afraid to let go of our past investment. To reach fluency, you must risk the loss of looking imperfect in front of other people. Let us shadow these sentences to train our nervous system to accept the risks of true growth. Losing something hurts more than winning. Feels good. I am aware of my fear of making mistakes. My brain wants to stay in the safety zone. Loss aversion can stop my natural growth. I am choosing to value the potential gains today. Risk is a necessary part of learning English. I will not let fear control my decisions now. Every mistake is a step toward my final goal. I am letting go of my old limiting beliefs. Sunk costs will not determine my future path. I am free to change my strategy at any time. New opportunities are worth the small risks. I am brave enough to sound like a beginner. My dignity is not lost when I am learning. I am gaining more than I could ever lose. Fear is just a signal from my System 1. I am using my logic to overcome my anxiety. Courage is a muscle that I train every day. I am opening my mind to a world of gain. My journey is worth every single effort. Part 5. The Two Selves and Final Resolution. In our final part, we look at the conflict between your experiencing self and your remembering self. The experiencing self lives in the now, while the remembering self tells the story of your life later. We often judge our whole life based on the intense moments and the final endings of our experiences. By choosing to enjoy the process of learning, you are being kind to your experiencing self today. We want to create an emotional resolution that makes you feel proud and very capable. Shadow these final 20 sentences to lock in your identity as a successful and calm learner. I have two different versions of myself inside. My experiencing self lives in the present moment. I am enjoying the sound of my voice right now. My remembering self tells the story of today. I want to remember this practice with pride. The ending of a task is very important for me. I am creating positive memories of English. Every moment of focus is a gift to myself. I am living a story of progress and great hope. My brain is adapting to this new language now. I am the hero of my own learning journey. Awareness is the light that guides my mind. I am grateful for the chance to think slow. Slow thinking leads to a much richer life. I am mastering the two systems of my brain. Wisdom comes from pausing and listening deeply. I am calm, I am focused, and I am ready. My English is becoming part of who I am. I have finished this training with great success. I am exactly where I need to be today. We have reached the resolution of our practice. I hope these 100 sentences give you a new perspective on your mind and your power. Remember that your voice is more important than the rules you follow. Thank you for listening and for joining me in this calm space. Until next time, keep breathing and keep growing. Thank you for listening.